Recently, Adult Swim released a video revealing all of the episode titles for Rick and Morty Season 8. They also show animatics for each episode, which is so cool. I love whenever they release animatics, they just look so cool. At first, I wasn't going to make a video about this, but there are some titles and animatics that are promising and I love to theorize. So I'm going to go one by one, predicting what the episodes are going to be about, and give some thoughts. Also, the Season 7 video should be out soon, I'm just finishing it up. Sorry for the wait. Without further ado, let's go through the titles. Summer of All Fears is the season premiere, or at least I think it is. I assume that the order in this video is going to be the order of episodes releases. So this one shows Morty and Summer in chairs with a device on their head and Rick pulling a gun on Summer. I'm glad they're having a summer focused episode, especially after how underutilized she was in the past couple of seasons. This episode might be about curing a fear Summer has, but it feels weird that they would do 2 episodes in a row about characters' fears. Obviously with the last episode being the fear hole. I don't know what else they could do with a fear plot, but also it could be something with going into Summer's mind because of the helmet, but I really just don't know. There's an episode later in this list that most likely is about going into a character's head, so I feel like they wouldn't retread on that idea in the same season. This episode could be something completely different, which is the same with all these episodes, so take each of these predictions with a grain of salt. Valky Rick is the second episode, and it seems like it's going to be focused on Space Beth, showing her killing Galactic Federation guards. This episode has so much potential. They haven't done a main plot starring Space Beth since Bethic Twinstinct, but that was mainly set in the Smith's house. Showing what she actually does for a living could be a fun episode. Also, in Rick defending your mort, it shows that she is working with Bird Person now, so that could be a really fun dynamic to see. Maybe we'll even get to see a bit more of Bird Daughter, who knows? The Rick, the Mort, and the Ugly is the third episode. It shows Rick and Morty crash landing on a farm full of diamond corn. This is the episode I really can't predict anything that is going to happen. Not a lot is shown. It seems like it'll be a classic Rick and Morty adventure. Maybe it'll be a Western parody because of the title of the episode being a parody of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I think I'm just kind of reaching for straws on that. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't predict anything past that. The Last Temptation of Jerry is the fourth episode and the episode we know the most about, since the teaser trailer released on April Fool's shows Rick and Morty going on an adventure trying to figure something out about Easter. This segment and title reveals that Jerry will play a big part in this episode. Jerry seems so happy decorating for Easter, so what I'm guessing is that Rick will ruin his fun by saying like, I don't know, Jesus isn't real or something, and will feel bad, so he tries to do something nice for Jerry. I'm excited to see an Easter focused episode. They haven't done one of those before. This does give me the vibe of that one South Park episode with the Easter cult, so hopefully they take it in a different direction. I just found out that they released the full version of this scene with Jerry singing. It's just Jerry singing an Easter theme song and I love it.
La 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 la, eggs, plastic grass, and chocolate rabbit.
He's just so happy. I know because he's happy in this episode, he's going to go through like the 7 layers of hell or something, I don't know. Cryomort, a rickver is the 5th episode. Okay, I lied. This is the episode that we know the most about. 5 months ago, the Adult Swim channel uploaded an animatic for the cold open of this episode. It shows Rick and Morty going to a ship with a bunch of people in cryosleep, and Rick wants to rob him. Morty won't let him, leading to Rick accidentally blowing up the ship a bit, releasing the inhabitants from their cryosleep. Rick then disguises him and Morty as aliens. So this episode seems like it's going to be an Among Us type of episode.
Walt, I don't know, man. You've been seeming sus lately. Don't lie to me, Walt! You sussy baka!
Yes, I said that unironically in 2025. This could be a fun plot following the classic trope of Morty going against Rick and it bites him in the ass.
Think they have a basketball court?
Basketball court, huh?
Ball is life!
I feel like Morty wouldn't say this. Maybe he starts the episode off as an imposter. Yeah, no, that's a stupid guess. I love when shows do the whole imposter plot, and this seems like a fun spin on it, where we know who the imposters are, and we're just waiting for the others to figure them out. The curicksous case of Benjamin Button, my god, I've said that title like 7 times, I'm just going with that take, is episode 6. This episode seems to be centered around Beth and Space Beth, showing Beth going to her horse surgeon job, which we hardly get to see anymore, and Space Beth shooting aliens. Hear me out on this one, but this could be an episode where Beth and Space Beth swap bodies somehow. I don't know, it just gives me that vibe, with Beth looking pissed to be going to work and Space Beth being surprised about the aliens. Maybe there will be a twist on the body swapping trope, with them switching at random times, which I got the vibe of from the great cut from Beth going into her surgeon job to Space Beth breaking into the aliens' hideout. The more I look at this clip, the less it seems to be that way, but I'm going to go with it, so when I turn out to be right, it'll be awesome. I'm very excited about this episode as well. We haven't gotten a Beth-centered episode since Bethic Twinstinct, so this could be a great change of pace. Ricker Than Fiction is episode 7. This episode shows a bunch of characters we don't know shooting. Then it pans out to show Rick and Morty watching TV. This episode is most likely going to be the return of Interdimensional Cable. Obviously they have the characters watch it throughout the show, but the last episode about it was back in season 2 with Interdimensional Cable 2, Tempting Fate. This one has me excited. I've loved most of the interdimensional type episodes that have come out since, but going back to the classic formula should be fun. Also, we'll get to see the new voice actors' improv skills, which will be fun. I'm cautiously optimistic for this one. Nomortland is episode 8. This episode shows Rick in a Hawaiian shirt hanging out on an island with a house, and Jerry's in the water. This seems like it will be a Rick and Jerry adventure. The house on an island is a bit weird, but I'm just going to predict the most mundane thing ever. This episode is going to be about Jerry and Rick going on vacation. I could be wrong there because Jerry does have stubble in this, which could mean this is a different variant of Jerry. Rick and Jerry have my favorite dynamic of the entire show, so another episode about them is going to be fun. Morty Daddy is episode 9. This shows Rick eating something delicious, then Summer gets a piece of bread with green slime on it. This could be a Rick and Summer adventure, which would be awesome. If I'm not mistaken, Rick and Summer haven't had an adventure together without Morty since raising Gazorpazorp. So this could be fun. There's really nothing more I can take from this animatic, except that they're on some alien planet or different dimension, but that's classic Rick and Morty. Okay, now to address the elephant in the room. What's up with that title? It makes me think that Morty will either become a dad for a second time, or it will be a Jerry and Morty adventure as a side plot. Or maybe they will bring back Morty Jr. from raising Gazorpazorp. That would be wild. Hot Rick is going to be the season finale. This shows Jerry being in distress, and then Rick hooks up a device to his head, and we can see a glimpse of a screen. At first I had no idea what this could be about, but then I looked at the comments and someone said this could be the return of Memory Rick, which makes so much sense. If you don't remember Memory Rick, Rick befriends him in Burperson's mind and Rickternal Friendshine of the Spotless Mort, then lets him live in his brain. But in the Jarek trap of last season, he's most likely now stuck in Jerry's brain. This could be a really fun adventure. Maybe Rick will go into Jerry's mind to try and get Memory Rick to stop doing something. Rick and Jerry's mind has so many comedic opportunities. The title also makes me think Jerry's going to have wet dreams about Rick or something like that, and that would make sense for this show. Most of these episodes seem to have fun concepts, and I actually can't wait for season 8. I'm loving that it seems that each member of the Smith family is going to get an episode focusing on them. That should be a lot of fun. This seems like it's going to be a very experimental season, and I can't wait. Season 7 was pretty good, so I hope Season 8 will continue the streak of the show getting better and better. What are your theories about these episodes? Did I miss something, or do you think I was wrong about something? Comment down below and we can have a discussion. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can be ready for the Season 7 video and the Season 8 video when the series is done airing. I'm sorry for this rushed video, I just needed to get it out. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.